I'd like to give you a quick overview of what we have done so far. So we have 3 files. Namely, we use the header file generated by Fluid. We have an implementation file generated by Fluid. And we have our main file, the implementation file that contains the main function. So once again, in our Solution Explorer, we're currently using these 2 files in our project. And of course, we also have the header file generated by Fluid. Let's just display in sequence what we have inside these files. So in our main function, we create Fluid Window class instance. We name it a window. So this gives us access to an object named window, and of course this is an object, the instance of a class Fluid Window generated by Fluid. In this class generated by Fluid, we have a constructor and a pointer to double window, right? So when we create this variable named window of this class, constructor of class executes for us, and of course this is the implementation of our constructor inside Fluid implementation file .cxx. And what it does, it creates a new double window, right? So it creates this object new double window, which is defined by Fulltext library. And WinApp, which is the pointer to this double window inside the Fluid Window class, is set to point to this instance right here. So this WinApp is set directly by the constructor. So there's some technicality over here, is that we tell this object when the actual double window object that it should be remembering the instance of this object as its user data. You will see how useful this becomes in the future. So basically, on this line of code, we're passing pointer to this object to double window object, and so there this double window will remember location of this Fluid Window class as its data, as its user data. So more about this to describe in the future. Then part of the window construction, part of the protocol there, we say AND. So this is what Fluid generates for us, and so this tells this double window object that its configuration is complete. So when it's done, when the constructor of window is complete, we continue execution of our main function, and we go to this window object, and we use pointer to the Fluid Window object right here, and we refer then further to a double window by using WinApp. This is WinApp right here, and we want to be able to show the window. So we make this call into show, and this will show the actual user interface, right? So this will be the actual user interface that becomes visible, and that's the final step right here. Then we enter function flrun, and this function flrun simply waits for something to happen inside this user interface window. For example, the user could click around, we could have buttons, the user could start typing information into text boxes available here, and this function will simply process all of this. The user could also minimize and maximize this window. The user could resize this window. All of this, something happening with this graphical user interface component on this operating system, will be handled by FLRun. If we want to attach our own application code to this window, we'll have to configure our callback functions. We don't have any callback functions so far, so the only thing that we can do with this window, we can move it around, we can resize it, and we can close it. And all of it's automatically handled by FLRun. Full-Tick documentation recommends that all graphical user interface applications simply end the main function execution by calling FLRun, and the rest of it is handled by the library, and when the user decides to close this window, the application will naturally exit out of here, and this will be the normal way of running a graphical user interface with Fluid, Windows, and FLTK library. So in summary, in my diagram here, this box represents this double window right here, and this box represents an instance of class generated by Fluid. So this is this.